with your present glasses, is the patient happy? You can clear with your existing glasses because that will give a clue of whether the car is stable or not. And whether he is having any other complaints like floaters or flatters or any other system irritation. All the complaints have to be answered. Next comes the contact lens history. If the patient is a contact lens user, if it's a soft contact lens user, he has to discontinue the contact lenses for 2 weeks prior to the evaluation, even the pre-active work. If it is an RGP user, we recommend 4 weeks of discontinuing the contact lens. Otherwise, the impact will be there on all the diseases. So we have to make sure by the patient takes the appointment itself. It will be better if the secretary or whoever takes the appointment is aware that they have to inform the patient about the case. Otherwise, it will be a waste. The patient traveling all the way here and going back and coming again for a that will be somebody. So the contact lens issue. And as we said, all the contact lens issues have to be answered. And if possible, the contact lens power also has to be asked the patient. And coming to the ocular history, like for how long the patient has been using power glasses, and is he wearing it regularly or he just wore it today for the checkup? We have to have adaptations for the existing power. And the power should be stable for at least the past 6 months. And next we have to ask for the nature of the if he is involved in any sports activities or like boxing or something where there is a chance of injury to the eye like that. So that has to be asked for. Then coming to the retinal evaluation, like before the evaluation, you have to ask the history. Like some patients would have undergone some retinal treatment. If they had retinal holes, they would have undergone varicose for the holes. So we have to ask how many treatments of varicose has been done and then was it done. Mainly because at least 3 weeks should have passed for the retinal varicose. So that history has to be taken. If the patient has any old reports with him, if he has any tentative reports or any reports with him, that has also to be taken care. We have to report the findings whichever are available and any previous injuries, surgery is done, all those things. Okay? And then regarding the dental health, we have to ensure the patient is not pregnant or lactating. If the patient is married, we can ask her regarding pregnancy, lactation, fertility treatment, any hormonal medication the patient is using because there might be fluctuations, so we want adult lactation in the patient. And some autoimmune diseases, collagen vascular diseases are all contraindicated. And general health and this pregnancy lactation. If the patient is lactating, you have to ask the patient to stop the lactation and come back after 3 months of stopping the lactation. So that's a power stability. Okay. And next, we have to ask for medicinal issues, family history. If the patient has any family history of corneal dystrophy, presentation, or keratoconus, aesthesia, family history, that plays a very important role. It is also contraindicated. So we should not forget to ask family history. And then if the patient is taking any medication, that also has to be asked for. Some patients will be taking some acne treatment. Those are also important. We need to get the clearance letter from the dermatologist who is involved in hormonal medicine or anything. And medication, like any other medication, all medications have to be recorded. Drug allergies, as I told, have to be recorded. And now we go on to the vision check and refraction of the patient. So vision check with the correct glasses, the patient is having very less power, the like 1.5 or less, we have to do a uncorrected vision also. And then we will go on to the refraction. So we have to make sure the power is stable. If the current glasses power and our refraction value is matching, then it is stable. But You have to ask them how old is the current glasses. Some glasses might be very new. So we can't say actually if we have gotten very new glasses within months or something, we should ask for a previous glass prescription within 6 months with that. If the older the better, if it is matching our current. If it is not available, ask for a contact lens prescription, which can be taken, and you can see the power and you can control the water power. And to the refraction. We have seen some patients who are overcorrected, who are wearing overcorrected glasses and coming to the clinic. So they would have got adapted to the overcorrected power. So what we have to do, we have to use the correct refraction. Duochrome test is very important. I think you all are doing duochrome in your clinic. That give a duochrome balance prescription and give adaptation for 3 months at least with the new power. Otherwise, the patient will not be comfortable to directly go for undercorrected to give adaptation, which is not comfortable. After the patient comes back after 3 months, you have to re-refract, do the re-refraction and make sure the part is stable. And then you can proceed with the further evaluation. Then,
excuse me, ma'am. I'm sorry to disturb, ma'am.
Yes.
Like the sound is very low, ma'am. Can you please adjust your mic and see once?
Hello, audible?
Yeah.
Hello.
It's audible.
Hello.
But
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. It is audible now.
Okay. Okay, I think I have to. Should I repeat anything?
No, ma'am. It's fine.
Hello.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I was telling about the correct power, means the no undercorrection, no overcorrection. Correct power has to be given to the patient. If it is an overcorrected patient, you have to give the correct power, give the adaptation for 3 months, practice 3 months, and then go for the further evaluation of the patient. And next is the refraction part is done. But see, some cases we have seen that they are the optometrists are not very keen on doing JP. Actually, JP plays a very major role. We should not think that we have done an exact refraction by just taking the cylinder. Very importantly, you have to do JP and the outcome. That will help a lot in finalizing the exam, final power solution. Then coming to the photopic pupil size. Notice the size of the pupil in the dark. How much the pupil dilates in the dark. So that is very important because mostly the Lasik zone, the optic zone is 6.5 mm. So if the patient has a larger pupil size, which dilates more than 6.5, 7 or 7.5 millimeters in the dark, then you can experience more of aberration, glare. Then especially when the patient has a lot of night driving activities, they will be experiencing a lot of glare. So we have to inform the patient prior itself about the glare and aberrations. So we should be knowing the photopic pupil size and the profession of the patient before advising the patient about the same. Because after the LASIK, nothing can be done. So that is very important. Some patients will have mild aberrations, but if they have lot of activity in the night, it is very difficult. And some patients that they don't have much activity, they will be having no complaints about it. So it is our duty to inform everything prior to the patient to avoid such for the patient. And next part is the plant examination. And we have to make sure the lids are very clear. Lids are very clean without any nicomycosis, blepharitis, which can all cause infected surgery. So starting from the lids, every part of the eye has to be examined. So we have to check for the shallow AC and the things. So and going to the cornea, whether any scars are there. Some people wouldn't have known that they have had contact-related infections, and they wouldn't have noticed it. Now, when we see some opacities and ask them, then only they will reveal that yes, they have some infection happen. So we have to check for the any active or any old scars which is there. If there is a scar, we have to wait for the scar to fade. So what we do is we send the patient for an anterior segment OCT, and we have to measure the depth of the scar. So this depth is mentioned in the file, and after 2-3 visits, we will see that the scar is faded. If it is faded, we have to get the patient for the second. Now we have to check for a dryness. We have to do a stomach test, and if the patient has any dryness in the stomach test, we will be sent for detailed dry evaluation. And if the patient requires a treatment, we have to give the dry treatment for the patient, and then the patient will be coming back after the treatment for the therapy. And you have to make sure the content all parts of the area are healthy. Now going to the retina. So now you, as optometrist, we will be starting the system examination, IOP checking, and the artimetric in the initial work. So we will be checking the thickness of the cornea. IOP also should be normal, and we will be checking the corneal thickness of the last part in the initial workup. So corneal thickness, if it is very thick cornea, we have to think about data also. We have to do a examination, and mainly in this part, we actually see the manual keratometry. Manual keratometry nowadays is not practiced in many places, but manual keratometry has its own advantage. Manual keratometry tells us about any distortion on the cornea and any doubling, early doubling in the case of keratoconus can be picked up only in manual keratometry. If you practice manual keratometry, it's a very good tool to find out any early, and also the manual retinoscopy. We recommend the manual retinoscopy also. We can find out early symptoms. So many patients in our clinic we have found out early keratoconus just by the retinoscopy, early symptoms reflexes and manual keratometry. So it's possible to do a manual keratometry, and then finally do a bathymetry, and we will be dilating the patient for the fundus examination. So if the consultant or the doctor tries to take the fundus, and if everything is normal, they will be sent back for the second part, the pre-LASIK evaluation. If they find any holes, lattice in the retina, the patient will be taken for retinal evaluation. And after 3 weeks of diagnosis, if the retina is found to be stable, the patient can be taken for LASIK. So the pre-LASIK evaluation will be done at that stage. We have to repeat the refraction once more after 3 weeks of retinal evaluation. Then go on with the pre-LASIK evaluation if everything is found to be stable. So the second part is the pre-LASIK evaluation. So which includes technique. So before the I would like to tell you that before the pre-LASIK evaluation, the patient should be advised of all the possible pros and cons of the LASIK treatment or whatever the practical doctors are. And also, if some patients are not aware that contact lenses are something is there in the practice, and the patient only aware. So we have to explain to them about all possible refractive corrections. Then the patient is okay. Then only to come for the pre-LASIK treatment. So mainly we do Pentacam. So it's just the front cornea and back cornea we do is 5 Shanklish principle. So the front previously in olden times there was only a corneal topography, which gives only the anterior corneal details. We know that it is not enough, so we need the posterior corneal details also. So the Pentacam is front cornea, back corneal details, including mainly the posterior elevation. So what we see is some patients who have a very clear, very normal anterior corneal curvature, but we can see that there are posterior elevation problems in early height posterior elevation. So we can find out subclinical keratoconus like that in the pentagram. So without pentagram, we would have missed such a abnormality. If it was only topography, we would have easily missed out all the cases, and patient would have ended up with ectasia later. Post-Lasik ectasia. So this procedure evaluation is very important. We have many tools in pentagram like pads, software to find out early ectasia. So the procedure we can batch screening, everything all together, and we have so many other parameters which we see with the deviation of the next point. So many parameters with which we can find out early ectasia. If the patient has any one of these risk factors, we won't address the patient for plastic surgery. So we will be explained about all the risks, and we will not be taken up for surgery. But in a new instrument called Corneal has come now, which is even more efficient to find out the early corneal ectasia. So this Corneal is an instrument which can be combined with our pentagram, which finds out the biomechanical response of the cornea. What happens is it gives air blast into the cornea. So from the response of the application of the cornea, so the cornea goes back and comes front with the rest of the head. So from that, the biomechanical response is measured, and we can, with the help of a few indices like TBI and CBI, target biomechanical index and tomography biomechanical index. These two indices are an indicator of early ectasia. So the TBI and CBI values are abnormal. We should not take up the patient for surgery. That means there is a chance if the patient undergoes surgery, there is a chance that this patient can end up in ectasia at a later stage in life. So after the evolution of this process, it's been more 3 to 3 for very early ectasia also. And next step will be a specular microscopy. Specular microscopy has to be mandatorily done for all 6 corneas to find out whether the data is there. If the data is there, we should not proceed with the order. So if we find the 6 cornea, first start with the specular microscopy. If the corneal individual help is not, don't proceed with the other evaluation. So that is the main second part. We are looking for the Lasik evaluation. And after, if the patient is not eligible for Lasik, there are other refractive surgery also.
Ma'am, sorry to disturb. There is some external disturbances in the mic.
External disturbance?
I guess it's near the connection port or something.
Is it okay now? Still it is there?
Yeah,
Hello?
it's fine. It's better, ma'am.
Better?
Yeah, but still the kind of sounds I've been heard. Better now, ma'am.
Better now? I think I'll hold this like this. Okay. I would just like to tell you what type of surgeries are being done for what type of errors. Okay. So, femtolastic is being done. Actually, microkeratome lasik is an old-fashioned procedure. Most of the places have stopped doing microkeratome lasik nowadays. So, we are using femtolastic only. So, femtolastic surgery is being done up to a power of -12 diopters, and a cylinder power of up to 6 diopters, and hyperopia also up to 6 diopters can be corrected in femtolastic. And epilastic is where if the patient has less than 6 diopter of power, then the patient can be taken up for epilastic. So epilastic can be taken in thin cornea also. 470 microns of corneal thickness or above can be taken up for epilastic. And it is a flapless procedure, so there is a chance of flap-related injuries are less for those patients who are involved in sports or are like that, if the power is low, then we can very well opt for an epilastic. Epilastic has slow healing. The epilastic, they remove the epithelium and the bandage contact lens will be placed on the cornea for 5 days. So after 5 days, the epithelium will be healed. The lens will be removed. So the visual recovery will take little longer than LASIK. In LASIK, femtoLASIK and SMILE, you can make the patient read. The refraction can be done on the very next day itself, while the epilastic takes 1 month. So we should do the refraction only after 1 month of the surgery in epilastic. And post-operative care, epilastic in epilastic SMILE and femtoLASIK, they will be giving you lubricant for 6 months. It has to be put very frequently, 4 to 6 times a day, and antibiotic will be given for 1 week, and steroid has to be given in few cases, especially in epileptic for a month. The tapering dosage will be given. So the main thing which you have to remember is that in post-operative 1 month visit, the epileptic patients mostly will be using the steroid. We have to be very careful. We have to check your IOP without their IOP without fail, because there could be steroid responders who will be having a high IOP in the post-operative visit. We have to inform the doctor when I'm there, and they will be taking care of the rest of the time. So post-operatively, in the day one, we will be doing refraction and topography for the Lasik and SMILE patients. Whereas in epileptic, only in 1 month, refraction and the topography or better. And I should not forget about ICL. Many of you will be aware of ICL, this implantable polymer lens, where the LASIK is not possible in high power cases or where the cornea is thin. You can advise the patient for ICL. So ICL can be kept in the eye for those patients, but the requisite is the AC depth, anterior chamber depth should be 3 millimeters or at least 2.9 millimeters. If it is less than that, if there is a risk. So what you have to do, you have to make the patient undergo a pentecam, and those cases, the AC depth has to be checked before advising for the further test on it. You have to make sure one thing. Nowadays, in the pentacam, you have AC depth written as external or internal. You have to make sure it is internal AC depth from the endothelium. Sometimes the patients will bring out reports from outside where you will see AC depth and you will just write down, okay, 4 mm, 3.5 mm. But you have to be clear whether it is internal or external. But it is external AC depth, which is including the corneal thickness which they have measured. So we have an IOL marker, it will be from the corneal anterior surface. So we have to make sure we are seeing the internal AC depth, then only we can assess for ICL, which is more than 3. And post ICL care, we have pre-ICL is called the post ICL. Post is the specular microscopy. How is the endothelial health of the patient? So pre and post ICL, we have to do specular microscopy. Post ICL, we have to do the vault measurement. Every visit, we have to measure whether the ICL facing between the ICL and the human lens. So it is measured in OCT, the anterior segment OCT from the posterior surface of the ICL to the anterior surface of human lens. So that's vault. So what is a normal vault? Normal vault should be at least half of your corneal thickness. So when you see the patient with exam, you can approximately see that this is at least half of the corneal thickness. So like that. So when the vault is very less, what will happen? Go to the lens and get touch the lens and for cataract. You have to closely monitor. And previously, in olden times, when ICL surgery was done, they used to do an iridotome.
Deepa ma'am, sorry, your voice is not audible, ma'am. you'll have to keep the mic close if possible.
Keeping it close, actually.
Yeah, now it is better,
Hello?
ma'am. Yeah, when you're asking, no, it's
I
fine.
think I
But
have to close.
yeah, I think in that flow it becomes very soft.
Okay, so should I repeat anything?
No, ma'am, you can just continue from here, ma'am. Now it's much clearer.
Okay. I was telling about the vault of ICL, which you have to monitor every visit so that it should not go and the ICL should not go closer to the lens and touch the lens, causing cataracts in future. So that is a very important measurements. In every visit, you have to see the vault of the ICL, and the specular microscopy has to be done. Okay, and what else I have to and SMILE surgery is the new version, new method where there is a no flap. There will be a lenticule which is removed according to the power of the patient. The lenticule is removed and it gives a faster healing. So but the disadvantages only two diopter up to two diopter of astigmatism only can be corrected, and hyperopia cannot be corrected. Otherwise, SMILE is also a good option for the patient. So the main part of the Lasik workup we have covered now. I think if anything missed, you can ask. As optometrist, our role in Lasik selection of patients is very big because it is a life-changing procedure for the patient, and it is an irreversible one. So once again, I am reinforcing the importance of pre-Lasik evaluation. Sometimes the pentacam might show variable readings due to some abnormalities, any test done, applanation tonometry done, or anything. We can always ask the patient to come on another day, do a fresh test without doing any other test on the cornea, directly do a pentacam so that we can make sure, double check and make sure it is normal or abnormal. One more thing I want to insist is we have to do it in an undilated state. We would suggest you do the pentacam without applying fluorescein or without dilating the eyes, because we have done a study and found that there are cases where there is a lot of difference in the readings with the fluorescein and the dilated state. So maximum possible you do the test in an undilated state. So while during the initial workup itself, you found that the patient has a very normal retina in his old reports, and you have all readings stable. Keratometry, everything is good. Then, if the patient is willing and your consultant is willing, you can always go ahead with a pre-LASIK evaluation along with the initial checkup and finish off the test in a single day, and the patient can be dilated after the examination. If it is possible, that is the best way. Or the patient can come on another day fresh, then undergo the test. And I think I have covered most of the points.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a very, very elaborative session. We understood how you narrated how to pick up a patient for LASIK till what technique can be used for different patients. So the entire flow of the LASIK workup along with the techniques to be used was detailedly covered. And I have a few questions for you, ma'am, from the student's perspective. To summarize or to know it in a very crisp and short manner, who are contraindicated for LASIK?
Contraindications are who are less than 18 years of age, who are not stable in their power, and the patients who have high unrealistic expectations. They are not to be taken for LASIK, because we have anyway we have to tell the patient, like, we are expecting a good result, but still there are chances that 90 to 95% of correction may happen. There are chances that 5% can be 0.5 or 0.5 power can come this side or that side. The patient is very well accepted patient who has who understands the risks and everything. That patient only has to be taken up for LASIK, because it is making your cornea thinner and flatter. So it's no longer a virgin eye. So you have to be sure that the patient is informed of all the risks involved, and they are okay for the surgery. Then nobody should be compelled for LASIK surgery. If the patient is coming on their own and asking for the procedure, then only you have to take up, and also you have to inform them about all possible options. And the next contraindications are what I told. The systemic contraindications I already informed. So all those patients are only contraindicated.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The next question will be cylinder patients, the astigmatic patients, can they come for LASIK? If
Yes,
so,
yes.
what diopters can be corrected?
Up to 6 diopters astigmatism can be corrected, provided the patient has good corneal thickness, and also all the parameters in the pentacam is very normal without any early signs of ectasia.
So, ma'am, the next question will be, what measurement errors can affect the LASIK predictive values?
LASIK errors. We are not supposed to make any error for any LASIK patients, and no error is permissible. So everything can affect. The K reading can affect. The power refraction can affect. The overcorrection, undercorrection can affect. Thickness values can affect. Pentacam, if you miss out to find out some early ectasia, can give a disaster to the patient. Pentacam and Carvey. So whatever test you are doing, do it in, with 100% perfection and dedication.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The last question will be, what is the minimum corneal thickness that we can proceed with the LASIK?
Yes, I told you already, femto-LASIK can be done only if you have 500 microns of thickness. That can be done. But if full correction is possible or not depends on how much power you have. So there is a formula. There is a nomogram software in which we'll feed the scotopic pupil size and thickness of the patient and the power. So you can approximately calculate like this. If the patient has 5 diopter of power, the 1 diopter of power removes 10 to 12 microns from the cornea. So the 100 microns is for the flap. That has to be untouched. 100 microns of cornea is for the flap. And 250 microns of residual bed, stromal bed, has to be kept risk-free. So after removing this, after keeping this much in margin, then how much power can be corrected? So that we can calculate. So that is the calculation which gives whether you can fully correct or correct. So 12 to 13 microns for 1 diopter of power. So like that is the calculation of nomogram. So then we can find out whether it can be fully corrected or under corrected. So if the patient has very less power and 470 patient has no 500 microns is not there, he cannot undergo femto-LASIK, but he has an option of epi-LASIK if he has 470 microns or higher thickness, and if he has less than -6 power. If the patient has -8 power, 10 power, and still he has 470 only thickness, so he has no option of LASIK, no option of LASIK also. He has option of ICL. Even if the patient has a keratoconus also, he can undergo an ICL. We have some patients who had a very stable keratoconus over many years. They have undergone ICL and got a very good result.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a very detailed and elaborative explanation of whatever your input was, and your answers to Q&A was very useful, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anshi, ma'am, do you have any questions for our moderator today?
Hi, ma'am. No questions as such, but I was very happy that ma'am was able to give such an elaborate explanation to us. So thank you, Smruthi, for such a wonderful presentation. And thank you, Deepa, ma'am, for adding on the value of that very important sentence of that LASIK. Once done, it is irreversible. So we have to be very careful about all the procedures that we do, whether it is pre-LASIK or post-LASIK. So optometrists play a major role. So thank you, Deepa, ma'am, for bringing it out completely.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Anshika. Thank you all for the opportunity. Thank you.
Over to you, Gomati.
Thank you so much, Deepa ma'am. That was a wonderful explanation, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining with us today. And thank you, Meenakshi, for conducting the Q&A session as well. And Anshi ma'am, we have a very exciting workshop happening this weekend. So we'd like to hear from you more about that, ma'am.
Yes, Gomati. So at Dr. Agarwal's Institute of Optometry, we are organizing a reports interpretation workshop. It is going to be held on 27 July from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we are going to have 3 eminent speakers who are going to explain and teach us how to read an OCT report, a fundus image, as well as a visual field report. So we still have the registrations open due to the high demand. So there is already, we have the link shared in our Insta page as well as in all the links which are there of the college. So if any of the students who are viewing this are interested, please do join in. It will be a great learning.
Thank you so much for that information, Anshi ma'am. Dear audiences, thank you so much for your continuous support towards Optometry series. We'll meet you in the very next episode. Thank you all. Thank you, ma'am.